Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, and we are starting Patriot Season 2, a show that nobody talks about. I don't know how many people watch this. It's a damn shame that nobody's talking about this show. I don't think anybody's really reviewing it. If they do, they're probably just doing a Season 2 review, but it's a darn fine show. It is very it's flying so far under the radar. It's like a friggin' stealth bomber, and it's so good. And so season 2, I've tried to do season 1. I did a season 1 episode 1 review, and there were so many moving parts that I just couldn't do it. And I tried to do season 1 review, and it still just didn't feel right. I couldn't. There was just so much, and I didn't have enough time. So now that season 2 is out, I'm hoping that people that watch season 1 will, you're already done, so I don't have to play catch up. I don't have to try to over explain everything. If you watch season 1, if you're watching this, you've seen season 1. So I don't have to backtrack and over explain, because there's so many moving parts to this show that season 1, just trying to review it is just insane. But we're going to try to do season 2. Starting with episode 1. It is called American Dimes. And again, this show is fantastic. I just love it so much. One of the cool things about season 1 was the opening credits had this really great song with all these home movies of the main character and his dad and his brother. I believe it was them. And then the title card always was something different. And it's no different here, except the main credits are done over the Beastie Boys' Sure Shot. Already, for me, that's like a home run. And then the main title card is the word Patriot, and then the whole screen is nickels and dimes. It's all written in nickels and dimes, and it's called American Dimes. That is such a cool image. And that's just one of the ways I describe the show. It's just fucking cool. So where we left off last season is John Lakeman is sitting at the train station where Agatha, the detective from Luxembourg, is getting on with the money that he's supposed to be delivering to this lady who will take the money back to the guy who they want to win the Iranian election, so that Iran does not, the right person wins in Iran. They will not have nuclear capabilities. That's the simplest way I can put it. So she's got the money, and he is contemplating what he's going to do, if he's going to go after her or not. Well, now we know that at the end of season 1, his brother was kidnapped, and they want the money, and she's planning on disappearing. Apparently, it just appears like she's disappearing with the money and meeting her daughter. Well, he figures this out and eventually gets on the train that her daughter is on. So he's trying to figure out what to do. He's got eyes on her daughter, but what we didn't know at the end of the first season is that he's got this guy from Milwaukee named Birdbath, who is this kind of disgraced police officer. He's on the train that Agatha is on, and he's supposed to hit her on the head if she got the money. He is supposed to hit her on the head with a sack of dimes and take the money from her. American Dimes, hence we have a title. So he goes to get the dimes from the bank, but the Luxembourg, of course, doesn't have the same kind of dimes. I guess he just assumed that they would have American currency there. Pretty kind of dumb, but whatever. So their version of dimes are much heavier. And so he's afraid to hit Agatha with the dimes because he's afraid he'll kill her, because his mode of hitting people with dimes, apparently this is something this guy does. He had it down to a science with American dimes, but with European dimes, he's afraid that if he hits her too hard, he will kill her. So there's that. I love the part where she starts to suspect him on the train, and the old lady that falls on his shoulder falls asleep on his shoulder, so he kisses her forehead to make it look like they're a couple, and he's all proud of himself for doing that. I love that part. But then when it's time to get off the train and he's in an intercept path with Agatha to hit her with the dimes, he's still afraid to hit her with them, so he tests it on himself and he knocks himself out. And so, like, nothing in this show is easy. One of the great things about it is it's supposed to just be a simple A to B situation. Get the money to the person. And none of that has gone right. Not one single time has anything gone that simply. And so, of course, hitting her on the head with a sack of dimes does not go over well either. So she gets away with the money. And John is on the train to he's still got eyes on her daughter. Well, he gets off the train and they're in Paris now. And she's going to get on a plane to Paris to London to meet her mother. It's all these, like, they can't be seen in the same place or whatever. They're trying to do their own subterfuge, which actually kind of makes you wonder what Agatha's doing, because she seemed like such a straight homicide detective. But she's willing to take this money, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, man. So she thinks she can just disappear with that money unless she has other plans that we have not been given yet. And then this is where all of a sudden John's wife shows up with the dog. Now, she also here, she confesses, like, I know what you do, I know everything, I love you, but, like, I can leave, but if you need me to stay. Well, she immediately gets a wake-up call because he has her stay, and she basically gets to see what he has to do, which is he has to take the girl. I love that scene. It's very kind of scary because the ladies, and it's very horror movie-esque, where the lady's in the bathroom stall with the little girl telling her that the sad man's not real, kind of a horror movie thing, like the boogeyman, and that he can't come in the bathroom because it's the ladies' room. And she's telling this all to a little girl because she thinks it's just her overactive imagination, until she sees the footsteps outside of the bathroom stall, which is legitimately, if you look at it from that character's perspective, terrifying. Especially when he ends up kicking the door down and beating, like, over and over again. Apparently, they don't show what the consequences of opening that door. I'm assuming he only knocked her out. And then takes Agatha's daughter and gives her to his wife and says, we got to get out of here. We're a family. This is the plan. And, proceeds to tell her, like, the kid can cry, you can't. We have to, like, be, like, this is the mission. You came here, now you're in it. And this is also where they end up meeting up with Terry O'Quinn's character, John's dad, who is trying to explain to her that this is the life, this is how it looks, and what is unusual for her, even though he admits this situation is unusual, in usually unusual circumstances for them, this is an actually unusual situation, that this is normal life for them, and that even though she's telling him that he needs to step forward and take responsibility, this is just a normal day in the world of of intelligence officers, I guess. I don't know. I'm not an intelligence officer. I can't speak to what their daily routine is like. So she, though, takes off with the kid, something they all should have seen coming. This also has John telling his dad that he called their mother, so she's on their way, adding more complications. They now know that the brother is taken and they want the money. The people that took John's brother are the Brazilians, who they want the money. Again, you start talking about this too much and it starts to get overwhelming. But not when you're watching it. Just trying to explain it, though, to somebody who hasn't seen this show, it is maddening. So that's why I'm glad I'm starting these reviews with season 2. Meanwhile, in Milwaukee, Kurtwood Smith's character, Leslie, after being shot in the face by John so that he could come on the trip to Luxembourg, he's enjoying his morphine drip quite a bit, but he's starting to piece together that John is not who he says he is, just like his dad said. You don't know my son, he's a good boy. But he's starting to piece together things like when John says he's an only child, and then John's father says, my 2 sons. It's starting to, all things are starting to not add up even more. What's interesting about this this part for the Leslie character is that right before he was shot in the face by John, Dick Cheney style, he was trying to reconcile with his son, who just so happens to be living in Paris. And so he was going to go on this latest trip to Luxembourg and then also try to make amends with his son, but then he got shot in the fucking face, as he puts it. Some of this is a little like maybe cliche or contrived, but it's just so damn enjoyable to watch. Another thing that was enjoyable to watch was Gil Bellows' character, the president of their company, trying to deliver a speech that John was supposed to give, and showing how little he knows about his own company, even whispering "fuck" at the microphone stand was really funny. The whole scene with Dennis McLaren, still naked in the Luxembourg jail, sitting next to the brother of the guy who was supposed to get the money, who was found drowned, and the Brazilian guy that got knocked out as well, sitting next to them. They're all in jail in Luxembourg, being questioned by, with Agatha gone, the cool tough guy squad, as they actually call themselves, are in charge now, and these guys are just complete fucking morons, and very full of themselves because they call themselves the cool tough guy squad. And you know, I don't know. That pretty much covers everything in a nutshell. You have to watch this show to believe it. It really is incredible. And if you like it as much as I do, please leave comments in the comment section. I'm going to try to get more in depth as I watch and review these shows. But this is just my general feeling about it. A great start to the season, just more of the same. It didn't miss a beat. This did take longer, I believe, than usual to come out for a second season, but we've been seeing that more and more with shows like Better Call Saul taking more time, and Mr. Robot and Westworld. And it's nice to see that the extra time taken has not hurt the show. A lot of times second seasons can be, sophomore slump kind of situation, and that is not this here. This is, again, incredible. The performances, the writing, it's all still on point. And I cannot wait to keep watching it. One thing, do not watch this show with people who can't stop talking, who just constantly talk through everything. Do not do that if you're trying to pay attention. And just similar, if you are watching it with somebody and they can be quiet, don't watch it with stupid people. Because it's just, I'm doing both at the same time, and it is maddening. I learned my lesson, though. I will not be continuing to watch this show with that person, because I can hardly concentrate with somebody trying to understand what's going on every single episode, even though they've seen all the other episodes. It's like every day I have to do a recap for somebody, and then I have to review the show. It's kind of hard to keep everything in my own head. So anyway, if you liked this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications on my channel. I want to thank everybody for all the support. You can check out new video reviews for the new Netflix show. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs movie review is on there. The new Michael Douglas show is the review for the first 4 episodes of that is on here. We got Haunting of Hill House episode 7 and Walking Dead tonight. So this is Robin Smirking on Review saying thanks again, and we will see you on the next video.